Manor Lord. Oh, that's a bit loud. So you'll see that I actually started doing jumping. Because you see, this is the mage. Sadly, you can't avoid him, so Edwin will, at some point, no matter what, turn back into, well, Edwin. Sad as that might be. And, oh, since using magic in the city is a very bad idea, I thought I'll deal with him outside of the city. I'm just going back to my little fortress. He got himself a capable spellcaster. Perhaps those fools will think twice now before they send another of their goons to bellow hollow threats. Not even the Red Wizard, I see. Wishing not well between you and the Red Wizard, Edwin? Just say that not every colleague is pleased with my disposition. I've been on extended leave from my compatriots in Thai. Ah, not that it's any of your business. Being saddled with the company of monkeys should be enough self-punishment for anyone. But enough, let us away. That is, well, in a manner of speaking, the end. Edwin's little... Actually, would that work? I guess it does better because we've already stopped bleeding all over the place. Okay, pick up some things. Can't really pick up many things because my inventory is full. I should probably clean out my inventory. Actually, this would also be a pretty nice opportunity to make the flail, I would say. The so-called Flail of the Ages, mind you. A rather powerful tool. As you can tell from its heads, it has 3 different damage types. And I guess since we do have the opportunity, let us travel over to Atkatla. Get the job done, basically. I really do hate being so, weak. Yes, Kitty, I know. It's your fucking 5 minutes of fucking activity each day. Kitty zooms around like, he never stops. It's just 5 minutes of activity, you know? He deserves those. Rest of the day he likes lying around like a lazy little bitch, but God beware, he would have an opportunity to fuck around. Now, where was the guy? I think the docks, wasn't he?
Of course.
Crumble's home, yes. I think you don't need anything else for the flail apart from the thing. These 3 heads. Which allows you to turn it into a weapon. Actually, do I have somebody who is good with flails? I'm not good with flails, as far as I know. Still really don't know where the axes come from, and it annoys the ever-living shit out of me. Mace. What is a sling? Furniture clip. Mace. Little Viconia, you would probably be quite happy with that. I'd attack, I guess. I saw the rest plan. Story-wise, Edwin is pretty much done. He's still a pretty good companion, mind you, and I would like to pick him as a contender for the finalized final party. Of course, that is not set in stone yet, but for the moment we can probably replace him with somebody else so we can start on their quests as well.
That's what you want.
I need a swig of some
Do you have anything you could fortune tonight? Part of sword. As you have in the packs. Part of a bow. If that's created by the great bowcation. This looks interesting. Chef of what was once a powerful halberd. Any. Else I could be used in forged traps. How the fuck do I make the fucking thing again? Okay, probably a good opportunity to look that up and something else, of course. Because I do think we will be going shopping relatively soonish. So, let's see here. Flail of Ages. Let's see here. It's kind of strange. I don't actually see anything else. I mean, I do know that you can later on upgrade that, actually. Um, hmm. Yeah. Always so fun if I have to look at it. Ah, right, I need to do this at the keep, of course, because, yeah, I'm an idiot. That explains that. Also gives me an opportunity to quickly look up. How to do the fucking Nera quest. I fucking love doing it, but I don't want to have it sitting around in my fucking inventory. Let's see here. Wild forest. Keep sweat past minimum. Aha. Distribution. Blah 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 blah. Oh. Okay, I have a decent idea what to do. But I do want something else before we continue. I do want to get myself a few more bags of shit, and I don't think you are a merchant.
Bad enough without ye bothering me.
Basically, I do would like a few more containers to go on, so let me think, where would be the merchants for that? I don't remember. Not off the top of my head, that is. But since we do have, yeah, an ample amount of money, I would politely point out, I'm getting a few more, at least one more scroll case would be amazingly nice. Because as I've realized, there's quite a few potential mages, and since I rather like to keep my options open as to what specific spells I'm going to teach them, apart from what they come with, I'd rather keep a few extra scrolls for that around, let's say. Sounds like a plan, doesn't it? Pretty good plan. Okay. Everybody's inventory. And then let's see. Basically, we are going to go through every district that actually has merchants. Oh, look, there's a scroll case already. That's gonna make this a lot easier. And basically see what's going on. So I'm gonna reorder my inventory a little bit, because right now I think Jahira is keeping, Jahira is basically keeping track of some of my special things. And since she's done with her quest, meaning she's not gonna randomly disappear on me, I'm gonna keep some of my more questy items on her, basically. Where is my bag landed here? Okie dokie. And let's say best item as well. And I'm gonna keep the little Analia in our team for a little bit longer. Okay, can drop that. For she too has another quest coming up, and it would be a bit of a shame to not make a good use of it, wouldn't it be? Yeah, let's not drop anything. Drop that. Technically speaking, I would like my thief, in this case her, to have both a scroll case and a gem bag, because of course, as a thief, she's very much a position where she could probably collect quite a bit of shit, let's say. So it would make absolutely sense to extend on her inventory as much as we reasonably can. As for everything else in here, I think all of that is sellable. I'm just gonna make sure it actually is. A ring of pincers. Honestly, I've always been, and it might be actually something debatable, a fan of giving rather the plus armor bonus from the armor itself instead of using a ring slot for that, because technically speaking there are a lot of cool rings with cool effects that you kind of want to have. Technically, practically speaking, that is. Oh, leather +3. Charisma -1, okay, that doesn't... 10% resistance to missile damage though. Oh, quite a sweet deal. Since I'm not gonna let her cast any spells, basically. Yeah, I think all of that is sellable. As the kneecapper +1 versus giants. I don't really like it when armor is when weapons are specific in that, and they go like, okay, you need to have a very specific target. I personally don't like it. I find it hilariously stupid, to put it mildly. Because the more specific the conditions are for your weapon, the less likely it is that it will be overly useful, is what I would like to say. So at least goes my...
I can carry no more. What was given is now upon the ground.
Excuse me. Bit of a itchy nose. Bit too specific, basically, is what I like to say. After all, conditions, nice and easy. But basically, I'm a fan of generalized damage up. If you find something that goes like, okay, you'll get, I don't know, just a general plus damage in any circumstance, that's probably the sort of thing where I'm like, yep, that is precisely what I was hoping to get. Now, as I said before, we are going to travel through all the areas and
You look like the sort who has more than
shopping.
2 gold pieces to rub together.
Before we continue. We did pick up a lot of things. And one thing I'm kind of worried about is actually the Harper ambush down at the Watcher's Keep. Because of that's a lot of travel time, and what that means in... Actually, let's sell those things to the Adventure Mart, in case I want something back from here. I guess we can sell the +1 shit, because that's usually not worth keeping around or keeping an eye on. And anything a bit better should probably be, also of course name stuff, should be sold to the Adventurers Mart. I think at the very least. Oh yeah, coming back to the Damhosh, the main problem is we can actually pre-buff us, relatively speaking, because, well, that problem time is gonna basically kill any buffs we apply to us. Which is a bit of a pain in the ass. I don't think there were any other merchants around here. No reason to go into the Harper's Hold. We've
rest. I demand we stop.
been demand whatever you want, Edwin, but we're not gonna stop now.
How long do you intend to crack your whip on my back?
As for other things, that's a good question, isn't it? I think there's actually also one in the
Could we stop and
headquarters of the...
I demand that we stop. The day was not this long, even when I led soldiers in the order.
So much to do, so much to consider. Technically speaking, since we do want to go through pretty much all of the individual quests that the characters come with, and some of these do require some waiting in between for things to happen, I kind of need to be a bit choosy, so to speak. Now let me think. There's nothing... technically speaking, the temples do offer services, but I don't think anything too special. I guess it doesn't really hurt to, no, do one full round, actually full round, mind you, of trying to go shopping. Those allows us to talk to the people again and see if anything happens.
Nothing further for the moment. You will be summoned if you are needed.
Never betray trust. Such is the will of the Vigilant One.
Yeah, I mean, Helm
Sees all.
Helm is a very simple guy, I have to say. Also a bit of an asshole, because he takes whatever he does very, 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 very straight. Not much for playing around the guy, to put it mildly. To the point that during the times of troubles, you know, when the gods walked the earth, he was kind of, you know, set in as the guardian to the heavens, quite frankly. And he would not budge from that position at fucking all. Meaning, you know, that he made no difference whatsoever. You know, if an evil god approaches, he's gonna, worst case scenario, strike them down just as much as he would any good god. That's precisely what he did. Who did he duel with again? I think it was Mistra, wasn't it? I want to say Mistra. I'm pretty sure it was Mistra.
Rest would be welcome, lest we
Which is a pretty fucking horrible idea when you think about it, because Mistra is literally the goddess of magic. She's quite responsible for the whole, weaving. Would you stop it, Kitty? For fuck's sake. Don't think I don't see you back there. Sorry. Kitty showed himself to be smarter than me, but I know these sound effects, even through my headphones. Of Kitty doing what he is damn well aware he's not allowed to do.
I welcome you with outstretched hand.
Very nice of you. Yes. Talos gift. Electric resistance plus 50. Well, that's fucking cheap. I'll take it. Of jump protection, we have so many of those, it's not even worth it. But something that gives me an outright just electricity resistance bonus. Considering electricity actually hurts. Hey, little strategy, welcome. Yeah, sorry as well. I had one of my most glorious moments again, and since I didn't want to bother you, you could have been asleep at this point. Honestly, and I couldn't even blame you. I was like, okay, let's start playing some Baldur's Gate and see what happens.
Require rest. We demand we stop.
You haven't missed much, mind you. I'm still technically speaking up for playing something else, you know. Basically, you know, I can see myself playing this for like an hour and then switching over if you're still active enough and want to go for it. Otherwise,
Could we stop and rest?
otherwise I could also, of course, offer you that we change the plans for tomorrow. I had originally planned to play Mana Lords tomorrow, but I can totally see myself playing some Star Wars as well. And I would like to give you the choice, basically. Seems only proper and fair.
I welcome you with outstretched hand.
It's really not a good idea to go up to the guy and go like, hey, your god is pretty evil. So, how the fuck is he openly worshipped? Actually, that is one of the better questions. Even in Baldur's Gate, if you remember, the Bitch Queen has a temple there as well. Bitch Queen. Dragon Queen, it is one of her more commonly known titles. So, let's call her what it is. Let's call it a Bitch Queen.
You are more than welcome.
And so some of the things that I find rather confusing when you think about it, because how does this work? How do evil gods get worshipped in such a big city by most people that probably are not nearly as evil? But I guess since Baldur's Gate is also set on the coast, you know, there's gotta be storms and shit, so you might want to have a temple to God 3 that deal in that particular thing, maybe. Tomorrow's a busy day. I'll let you make the call strategy for today then. You know what? I'm gonna buy a few of these things. Mostly to fill out these slots, and because we're swimming in money at this point. Basically. Because for the moment, my plan as far as Baldur's Gate is concerned is actually not much. I hadn't really thought about playing it originally, so I don't really have much of a plan. My plan so far is just going around doing some shopping and continue on the quest to pick up quests, basically. So, if you are still available, for like, 3 hours or so, we can change over to Star Wars.
Rest would be welcome.
Yes, I know you're all tired, but we do have to get through here. And, okay, there is one quest I want to get out of the way, technically speaking. It's the Nira quest, because I don't want to have it in my fucking quest log. Where is it? There. Oh, that does sound good, does it? Okay, how is it? Yeah. So for the moment, we're gonna play for like another half an hour. Just getting some minor shit done. And then we're gonna change over to Star Wars. Sounds like a plan, doesn't it? Is there any reason for me to go anywhere here? I don't think there's any shops here in the government district. Not as far as I remember. Of course, as far as I remember doesn't mean much. There could very well be an asshole amount of shops I just don't fucking remember. Wouldn't be completely out of the ordinary. Well, that's actually where you find the child, the baby murdering the gnome.
We demand we stop.
You can demand whatever you want. I'm still not gonna stop. It's so sad that Edwin is back to being, well, a man. Beschädnisch is great.
Into these long days. Could we stop and rest?
We could,
Why don't we stop?
but we won't.
The day was not this long, even when I led soldiers in the order.
I know. Tell me all about it. Tell me all about it, people. I don't care. What am I wearing, actually? Versus missiles and piercing. That's good. And you give me versus crushing. Strength of 19. Yeah, that's not something we can replace. 80 once per day. Yeah, that's nice, but not really that useful. Didn't I buy something else as well? Or did I already? Now let's just say that the market, these are all of my parts and stuff I want to keep. Is there a reason to go into the 5? No, I don't think there was a shop again. I mean, there's probably a shop in the temple, and sometimes temples have nice shit. Not much, but they do have nice shit. Sometimes, maybe, potentially.
Whatever you do.
It was a good idea to talk to the people.
Helm sees all. Know that and be judged.
And then we'll at least try to... Surprisingly often the temples of the good and usual gods seem to carry wooden stakes, for some mystical reason. Almost like, you're implying something. They're like, no, totally not. Not like we're aware of a fucking vampire fucking infestation throughout the city or something. Don't you worry about it. We've already done the docks. Joaquin has, of course, shops, and nothing unusual there. The city gates as an inn. I don't think there was a shop there. Graveyard doesn't have a shop, and the slums... They do have some shops. We're going to finish at Joaquin's Promenade, and then we're going to go over to the woods where Nira's quest is. Because I really want to get that out of my quest log. Fuck the hell. The only reason why these added-on characters are around is actually twofold. A, not good enough of a programmer to go into the game files and just remove them. I would definitely do that if I could. And because I actually don't feel like randomly murdering people on the street. And it's tempting. Very tempting, one might say. But I do like to at least have some justification for my murders. It doesn't need to be a good justification, mind you. Somebody pissing me off is more than enough of a justification for ramming a nice 2-handed sword into their gullet and see what happens. However, murdering completely without reason just because they're fucking annoying. I mean, technically that is a reason, I suppose, but it's not really a good one, is it now? There's nothing there, there's nothing there. Leons,
I
none.
require rest. The demand we stop.
We could pick up that one as well, now that we're done with Edwin. Basically send Edwin into the Copper Coronet and pick up a new companion. Nadia will have to stay with us a little bit longer, because she still has a follow-up quest.
I demand that we stop. The day was not this long, even when I led soldiers in the order.
Yes, yes, yes. We've said so already. I do remember that Dinalia second quest is a bit of a bitch for the flags that need to be set for it to be happening. Because I think it's a global flag or something. I don't fucking remember. I do remember that it's a pain in the ass to get it to where if you're not involving her in the original free to keep quest, basically. Actually, I don't know the exact combination of circumstances that you need to apply. But I do know that is a bit of a pain in the ass, which is why you should have her in a party, basically, for a bit.
Whatever you want.
I welcome you with outstretched hand.
Yes, yes, you do. I will not buy anything, because you don't have anything of interest to me. Is there a trader inside the copper quadrant? I frankly don't remember. Now we could go and talk to Galen about his offer, and I can already tell you what he would
be welcome,
give
lest
you.
we endanger ourselves.
He's going to give you a discount of the initial sum. I always found that to be one of the more optimistic guesses in Baldur's Gate 2. Because yeah, the first time I started this was like 20,000 gold, that's a lot, and even if you once everything takes off and you get the discount, 15,000 is a lot, while in truth it absolutely is nothing. You'll have that within a few hours of playing, basically in your pockets, as long as you're not, you know, just ignoring everything. Okay, let's see here. Armor of Fletcher, yeah, we should probably go through every one of these
Of course.
stores and see what we can pick up.
I require rest. The demand we stop.
For the rest, oh wait, there's another storekeeper there. Talk to him.
You'll find no better prices in Arm. I guarantee it.
You should never guarantee something. That's a very bad idea, because people will then come back and go like, but you guaranteed it, and look, I found better prices. What then? Well, then you would have to sell it cheaper.
Accustomed to these long days. Could we stop and rest?
I demand that we stop.
Now, for most of my companions, I would actually agree that yes, if they say they're tired and that this is unreasonably long, I would agree that yes, you have probably a point. For little Nadia, I don't think she has any leg to stand on. She's lacking the proper experience to actually make that reasonable. You know.
Have a look at my wares. I trust you'll find them all in satisfactory condition.
There's really nothing there, but it depends. Depends on what little strategy. Let's see, as you would assume from a shop that is literally called, you know, Fletcher, they have a lot of, well,
Tell me all about
bolts, arrows, maybe some bullets.
whatever you decide.
Ah,
Have a look at my wares.
hello you again. Inga is waving hello. You'd be wanting to see everything? Yes, yes, yeah. Ah, good. Indeed, very good. I do love that that is the idea how they think. Actually, since I don't actually know how a German-speaking English sounds to an English-speaking person, maybe that is how we sound. Well, das fand ich rather amusing. Wenn mich thrown in the ja. Und gut. Weaponsmith. Do you have anything? Don't have any deals with other merchants and might agree to use the 60 pricing for the city. Yeah, but this is the City of Coin. And the City of Coin... Ah, there's a bot there. Fuck you as well. Basically, the freedom of the merchants is quite
I trust you'll find them all in
harsh.
satisfactory
So while
condition.
there are, of course, some businesses that will inevitably work together to get more coin into their little pockets, most of them are individual merchants. Temple of Ilmata.
Rest would be welcome.
Yeah, I
lest
guess
we
we're gonna take a
endanger
look here as
ourselves.
well, and then we go into the Adventurer Mart and shell what we have left. Yeah, most of them are free merchants, and so, you know, you should really not guarantee you can say, like, I'm offering the best prices in the city. Because, you know, that is just your assumption. If the other party believes you, well, that's on fucking them, isn't it? However, if you start going like, I guarantee it, you're outright lying. If they find someone cheaper than you. So either you make them well sure that you absolutely are the cheapest.
Very well.
That's an option. Not an option a merchant would choose, because it seems kind of counterintuitive, doesn't it? To be deliberately the cheapest. Not gonna look well for your profit margin, now, will it? I trust your strategy. I'm sure you'll deal with this little creature. Full trust in your ability to do proper things to their reside.
The demand we stop.
All in satisfactory
Let's see here.
condition.
Nothing. Okay. Nothing. Nothing of interest. Sure.
My humble establishment.
And he's the guy who you come to for pretty much all the magics. Either my poor little mage already basically has all of the magics. I mean, there are some exemptions. Yes, we still don't have all of them. But we have the most. Not the spells. That's the whole reason why you want to have 19 intelligence, because at 18 intelligence you're somewhat limited.
I'm not.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Whenever I need to do this, I click around and then I look like, how to do this again?
The day was not
Especially if
this
you
long,
haven't seen about it in a
even
while,
when
it's like,
soldiers in the order.
I need to remember how to do this now.
If you say so.
But yeah, let's go up here. And then we're gonna try and finish
Ripe all part of it at your
this
service.
quest. Okay, sideways. I really don't like it. As I said before, you know, I would probably just outright kill them every single time I see them, but even I can justify that. And I do like myself some justification. I know, it sounds weak as fuck, but I do need some justification for murder. When I think about it, that would actually also be something I would absolutely want to take money for. Playing through Baldur's Gate, the complete saga, with all of the add-on characters, let's say it nicely. You would have to pay me good money to do that, I can tell you that much, because fuck that shit. I really like them. I think they're all Roman Tribble as well. Even the Baldur's Gate 1? Maybe. Never really looked into it, but I did hear something like that. And I was like, meh, don't care. But oh boy. If only Khalid would be around for using this longsword. Technically, you always want to have someone in the warrior class around who uses longswords, technically speaking, because they're just the most fucking common weapon ever. Basic bitch-ass longsword. However, since our tanks are myself, who prefers two-handed weapons, of which there are not that many, mind you. There are only really 3 categories that are two-handed. The two-handed sword, surprisingly enough, the halberd and the spear. Which is still why I'm wondering why the fuck I gave her access. But alas. And the other one is a fucking priesty boy. And priesty boys have only a limited selection of the weapons as well. We actually have nobody to use that. And that is kind of fucking saddening. I'll have to say. Sadness indeed. There's some really nice things, you know. Actually, the other part of this door also has some very nice things, I'll have to say. But yeah, basically if you keep all of the proper equipment that you might want to use later in one singular store, you always have the chance of buying them back at some point. Of course, you will have to pay a royal fucking premium for that. But alas, it is what it is. Okay. That was that store. Is there anything else store-wise around? Hmm. I know there are some minor stores always popping up here, there, and everywhere. And they do sometimes have nice shit, but I'm not gonna bother with that overly much. Instead, we go back into the wild woods and see if we're gonna get that shit done. However, before we do so, since Edwin's quest is done, we might want to pick up another companion to replace him. I don't know. We're doing this as complete as we can, and that means we do kind of want to engage with all of the companions. Let's see, and this was Edwin. Fels is actually left there. Cern, of course, but that's in a trade meet, and we haven't been there yet. Then we have Janssen. Technically, we can also Keldon, don't we? Do you have a quest, Keldon? You do. Yeah, there are some more options for us, I suppose. Oh yeah, Muzzy is there as well. I never really liked her, to be fair. Oh well. What can you do? So, Oliga, you're outside. I know that much. Nalia's second quest. How do I trigger you? Oh, we did this. Some point you must add it to the party again for the quest to proceed. Someone should respond, deliver the letter. Okay. About a week after liberating the keep. Fair enough. Where did I put you? Yeah, you're north of Umber Hills, little Muzzy. That's still away. So Keldon, we're north of Fighter, or Jan Janssen. They both have quests and they're both timed quests. Cern is also outside, so we're not going to pick him up just yet. And I think that is everyone. Yeah, Valiga is still a thing, but that's outside. Muzzy is still a thing, but that's outside. Korgon we did. Keldon. Keldon. I want to deal with that. Not really, but I know. Hadalis we did, Cern we do later. Unknown we are doing right now. Area, do you have more quests than rescuing you the first time? Yeah, technically speaking, our little winged elf, technically speaking, also offers us, through Quail, another way into the free Herdalis quest line. But since we already done this, that's kind of done and dealt with. And that is not something we need to concern ourselves with. So if I want to deal with the fucking Jan Janssen, I'll kill on first. I guess we're gonna start with Keldon. Technically speaking, Keldon has an interesting quest, because it's technically a quest that eliminates him as a companion in the original, if memory serves. Don't know if they've changed that. Because if you allow him to retire, he does mean retire. Okay, that's good old game design, where things had consequences, so, you know. If your companion was like, okay, I really wish to stop doing all of this nonsense, I'm too fucking old for it, they meant it. So we need to pick him up. Oh yeah, right, I forgot about that. Okay, so for the moment, where would Keldon be? He would be in the Order of the Most Radiant Heart, if memory serves. what we're going to do is we're going to dismiss Edwin, send him to the Copper Coronet, let him sit around there a little bit and stew in his own arrogance, which is something he is absolutely going to indulge in. Looking around all smugly going like, oh, look at all these monkeys. That's precisely how I imagine he would spend his time. Then again, you know, you would assume that his recent failure to understand the Nether Scroll to a decent degree, to the point where it changes him into a fucking woman, that should have been quite the lesson. I wouldn't like the experience of waking up one day and going, looking down going like, oh, I seem to be missing something. That would be rather strange and alien. Interesting, to be sure. An interesting experience, to be sure. Remove you.
So is this to be it then?
Yes. We no longer have need of your services for the moment. Go wait at the Copper Coronet. Things change, we'll meet you there. But you know, yeah, I'm pretty sure that if I suddenly, you know, after a nice bit of light show, look down and go like, something is missing. I mean, depending on how big my breast is, I probably couldn't even see it at this point, but you know that the point still stands. Where is Keldor? Shouldn't you be here? I'm not saying I wouldn't start experimenting at some point, mind you. I'm not saying I wouldn't. I'm just saying the first moment will be quite shocking, you know. That thing has been dangling between my legs for a long time at this point. I'm kind of used to it. So, I would be missing that. quite a bit.
Welcome to the guild house of my order, old friends.
Seems you've heard better than I in those sewers. I've helped people below me fate, which is well. Tell me, how might I be of service? I've come to petition for your service. I have need of an experienced knight to assist me in my journeys. It has also granted me a certain degree of autonomy in my dealings. If it is true to battle against the pressing dark, then I shall be humbly present at your side. I have no baggage beyond what I carry with me now. I'll tell you first, we are kinda getting involved with the coward wizards. Present danger does not deter me, and as for the wizards, I know little of them, beyond their reputation for suspicious activities. Let's begin this task then. Freeing your friend. See, he's a true knight.
So this is the guild house of the infamous, most noble order of the Radiant Heart, is it?
It is.
Infamous? Miss Nalia, we servants of the Radiant Heart
He's not gonna take that well.
ourselves on bringing a little good into this dark world.
Only the brightest, most upstanding knights of all the holy orders are granted the privilege of membership. Such as yourself, Keldor. Humbly, ma'am? Yes. Which means he's not actually humbly, he's going outright a bitch? Yes, of course. I just told you only the best of the best get here, and I am part of that. The order pays for your estate. Lady Nadia, understand this. Any soul of any social rank might join the holy orders, and therein be judged by the purity of their heart, male or female. Because yeah, the orders actually in this world are kinda a hand of equal opportunity, basically. So long as you have good in your heart and you're willing to put in the fucking work, technically speaking, you have a chance. Unlike some who take it upon themselves to criticize, we were not born into wealth and luxury. Yet these halls and all your sacred vows are reserved only for us humans. Leave what lies you wish, Keldor, but shan't make them any truer. I really do hate Nalia. Not really, honestly. Because in the, as has been always stated, basically, in D&D, men and women of the realms can basically pick up any profession. And be good at it. And I was thought like, seems reasonable enough. To some degree. But this is because this is a world where everything is measured in stats and everyone gets the same stats, which is just kind of ridiculous when you think about it, but it's how it works. The Night Orders as well. They don't give a shit where you come from. They do, however, care very much about your purity of heart. Basically, they're kinda, focused on that. Grasper, and you have not picked up any style, eh? That's interesting. But you do have longsword, and longsword is kinda tempting. If I ever use you, I'm gonna use you as a sword and board kinda guy. I can tell you that much. An Inquisitor, eh? Oh, that's a specialized little kit.
I stand ready.
That comes with something. They are little cleric t-shirts. Meh. Actually speaking, you know, we do have a lot of these, at the end of the day, guilds, basically, focused on, one thing or another. And there are orders, of course, not only of the good gods, but also of the bad gods. Although the bad gods don't get along too well, so those are not necessarily working together overly much.
Oh, to taste the airs of home. It has been a long time since
Remember, kids, because this is important. Little Keldon, as we can kind of see, he's not a spring chicken. He's a bit of an older one, and he's been with the Order for quite a while at this point. Basically, he spends all his time working, away from home. And, well, he does have family. And as you might suspect at this point, this does not bode well. Really not well. I thought you maintained your quarters at the Radiant Heart. My attendance at the Order is oft required, but my servants maintain an estate in this district. It's there that I visit my wife and daughters. Would you like to come? I shall introduce you. I would like that. I will. I shall point it out to you as we pass its gates. As I said, it has been far too long since last I walked these streets.
Very well.
It's a pretty short and sweet quest, basically. Because this is the Fire Camp estate.
I shall go forth at your command.
Rest is coming very soon, my lady. I will need to go to the headquarters of the Order and speak to Ryan Troll. I am not looking forward to the judgment I shall receive there. I'm tired about him. Technically speaking, I am tired of hearing about the test, because he's been non-stop talking about how he's pretty sure he will fail. Why not? Are they not fair? They are fair, my lady. I'm not unsettled by the chance they will make the wrong decision. I'm unsettled by the chance that they will make the right one. I have been thinking of what we have spoken of. I've studied to join the Order as long as I can remember. Suddenly I'm unsure if I should even want to. What if I'm accepted into the Order and I find I have no true place in it? What if I'm refused and I discover the future has no place for me? Part of me is already sure of the answer to it. It seems like it would be gratifying to throw off the shackles of hopeless duty, and yet the mere thought makes me ill. Everything will work out as it should. No, but you're right, my lady. I've depended on your counsel up until this point. It's always been good. Still, I'm troubled with it. Let's go to the Order's headquarters in the Temple District as soon as possible. And now, at this time, I would be glad to have it all over with. Yee! No, as I said before, we kind of set him up to fail. Basically, from the very moment we choose to let him take revenge, instead of going the proper way. Because, of course,
here at long last is my estate.
It is.
The servants have tended to it well this past while.
Now then, let's visit the family and let's have that happy reunion, shall we?
You have a plan?
Peony, you've done a fine job of the flowers up front. Where's your mistress? Why, Lord Caldron, it has been well over a month since last I saw your face. It has been as long since I've seen my lady. Come, girl, is Maria about? Oh, certainly, Lord Caldron. Lady Maria is in her chambers. I will fetch her for you. If you could. And the girls, too. My lady, Lord Caldron has returned.
Ah, my sweet Vesper. How is your schoolwork coming? The priests are still kind to you for my sake?
I mean, probably not. Not a bad position to be born into, you know, being a daughter or the son of, you know, what heißt the member of the Order of the Most Radiant Heart. I do love how they, you know, pronounce this. It's not just a Radiant Heart, it's the Most Radiant Heart, of course. You know, because their shit does not stink, is basically what it boils down to. Yes, father. Good, good. That's good to hear. Leona, the boys are letting you play with them now? Not teasing you anymore? Not when the priests are there to hear it. Good, good. That's good. Mother, can we go now? Of course, yes. On back to the sitting room while your father and I talk. There it is.
So, who are these?
Yes.
Heathen you converted in Calimport? Traveling pilgrims you stumbled across in Seradouche?
As you can see, the tone immediately changes. That's great. Well, not to be fair. For most of these people, it is actually earned nobility and not just granted nobility, which makes it a lot better, in my opinion. And again, it comes with a lot of restrictions, of course, because once you are considered to be of a certain lineage or position, so to speaking, you're also going to have to apply that. On the other hand, you know, your simple bitch-ass merchant has the freedom to do however the fuck he pleases, and can get successful of those merits he has or has not, as well. I'm searching for a childhood companion. Who? I don't care, Keldon. It's been 2 months since you were here last, and it was barely for a day. But even enough to leave your scent about this place. You're absolutely right. Yeah, we're getting close there. Which means we're going to end this soon. The work of the order must be done, Maria. You know, if I had my choice, I would be here. Would you? Would you really? The guild house is right here in the city. Even then, I never see you. It's always Radiant Heart this, Radiant Heart that. And here you see the problems.
What about me? What about my heart, Keldon? What if I don't love you anymore?
Maria!
You know that saying, how absence makes the heart grow fond? Yes, but basically, it boils down to, if you have a bitch at home, you should probably regularly, at least check her a little bit, because otherwise she might feel lonely. That's not a good state. The girls can live without a father anymore. You can live without a husband. You do not love me anymore. I always loved you and I was sure, although, well, I hate it. Every day I spend without you is a day that's lost forever. I feel like I love the church, but the church is the harsher taskmaster. We knew that when we married. And now I know that I love you the same passion with all my heart. If we have love, Maria, what could ever come between us? That. And here we come to the point where I lost, even all the way back then, all sympathy I had for this woman. Because instead of going up and, breaking this all up, getting divorced as it should be now, she immediately starts going to another man, and I'm sitting here like, I sure you want to say this to me. I have a big sword, and in this world I can get away with a lot of murder if I want to. It serves already now. He took the girls out to the circus twice. Yeah, she's even involving the children at this point. I hate this bitch. That's what it comes down to. Quite literally. I still never will find that an acceptable way to go about it. What is his name? William, Sir William of Tor. I beg of you, don't hurt him. Oh, I will fucking not hurt him. I will kill him and you, and technically speaking, I guess the children are innocent. Although, guilt by association is a thing, isn't it? Maybe at least let me have something. It's bad. For Maria to have relations with another man is punishable by imprisonment. Keldon must be tearing himself up inside. Go to your daughters. With you right now, Maria. To look at you is to go mad. I personally wouldn't risk annoying.
Curse the dictates of honor. Oh, the very gods demand that I bring this case before the courts. So William shall be hung, and the love of my entire life imprisoned. There is no other outcome.
Honestly, I do like Keldon's character, because now he is actually in a moral dilemma that is quite interesting. On one hand, he is a knight of the order. He is bound by very, very strict tenets. The tenets will, of course, dictate precisely that outcome that he is proclaiming here. However, on the other side, as he has stated, he has love for this woman, quite a bit of it. So, he's willing to wait that in as well, and that is a problem. I guess I killed the bastard. Who's he anyway? Yeah? Well, for me personally, there's only one outcome to this question. I'm not even willing to listen to the other side, And if I would believe that Keldon would be willing to actually just outright kill him, I would, but that's not going to work with Keldon. Really not. Yeah, I mean, he's a bit of a horned husband at this point, and he's, of course, rather annoyed by that. However, the only two things that really rate him is, on one hand, this is the love of his life, and he really doesn't want to lose her, obviously. On the other side, he is a member of the Order of the Most Radiant Heart. Now, there's, as far as I remember at least, no way that you get Keldorn that corrupted that he would actually consider killing him, because that is going completely against anything he stands for. So that's not gonna work. There are two paths from here, basically. You can either do what he must do, technically speaking, namely take this to the courts, at which point the guy is gonna get killed, but not by Keldorn, of course, but through the justice system. Which is, of course, gonna leave a massive, giant scar on his fucking poor little heart, and I don't think Keldorn actually deserves that, after all the service he done. Alternatively, you can go down the route of actually confronting Sir William about the matter, and somewhat soften Keldorn's outlook on the honor system, basically, that they have going. Now, for me, the trust is pretty easy. I'm not gonna... I want the bitch imprisoned. I want the guy killed. Because that's fucking assholeish. Because you always have the option. Let's not forget that. You have the option. She could have, you know, sent him a letter going like, okay, listen, husband, come home. We need to talk. And like, okay, listen, you've been not around for most parts. It children basically don't know you any longer. And, yeah, I have interest in having somebody around. But let's, you know, get that divorce out of the way. After that, she's free to go whatever the fuck she wants. She chose not to do so. At which point, as I said, you know, my mercy for her is basically, I had this little in the way of mercy for her, because she's an unknown fucking stranger to me. And after that, my mercy is basically like, you know, non-existence. Well, because Keldorn would have mentioned something about that. And as far as I'm aware, until this point, he's basically done his duty as duty demands. As you have quite clearly stated, the church is just a very harsh taskmaster, and he told her about it before they got married, so the woman knew what she was getting into. She was well aware that she wouldn't see much of Keldorn due to his duty, until and if he ever found the point where he can actually retire. Which is kind of hard. I know, this is precisely the sort of deal that they agreed upon. It's not like Keldorn lied to her and went like, okay, I'm going to be the most loving and ever-present husband. No, he told her quite alright that he would basically have two lovers, his wife and the church. And of those two, one is quite clearly the harsher taskmaster and would demand more of him. He's been open about it, and she agreed to that. And if that's not any longer okay for her, she could have come up to him and sought conversation, sought a solution, but she did not. She immediately went and spread her legs most wide for the next best asshole. And that is really not something I can appreciate. I'm sorry to say, that's just how I am, by my very nature. It's one of the crimes I find the most distasteful, because you're betraying quite harshly there. And see, the same thing you're doing, their strategy, you know, trying to justify it, is precisely what I did. Many times when I was in this situation, looking over the text, and went like, can I come up with any excuse for her behavior apart from being a royal bitch? I can't. Because, no, that's not forgivable. She should be imprisoned for that. I do like the honor system in this world. Because, you know, it should make you think twice about doing that. Especially because everybody knows what's going to happen. The very moment she went like, okay, listen, I'm seeing another man, she should be well aware what happened next. At least, you know, I would hold her to that higher standard that she was actually willing to admit that, probably well aware what that could potentially mean. I don't know if she thinks she still has enough influence over Keldorn to make him not do it. But as long as I'm around, it's not an option. But hey, you know what? Strategy. If you're really that much against that, doing that, just say you may know about her husband. I'm pretty sure you can't hide it because this whole estate is Keldorn's. I'm pretty sure all of the neighbors know that this is the lady fire camp. Saying there's little chance that he gets away. But, you know, strategy, if you want us to actually show mercy here, make me an offer. Make me an offer. I'm willing to consider it. But from my point of view, I'm not. I'm absolutely going to go, let's go to the courts, let's get this done with. But if you want to excuse the lady and make us look for another way that leads to maybe a re-blossoming of their love, 20 euros. You know what? Fuck it, fine. If you're that convinced of her innocence that you're willing to give me 20 bucks for that, I'm okay. I'll swallow my own my own view, and I'll allow you to change the fate of this relationship. let it be known that in my heart I cannot forgive this, but let it also be known that principles don't last in capitalism, basically. That's what I'm saying. I never actually did this the other way around, did I? Okay, let me just quickly look this up. If I can actually do this the right way. Is there anything, is there any traps here? You know what you must do. There it comes. Absolutely right strategy. Yeah. Deep pockets have overwritten my my principles once more. And I don't think there's any trap in here. Okay, fine. Ah, the poor lady. She was so lonely in her ways. I'm feeling very much so the desire to help this couple out. Suddenly. Very suspiciously. Okay. We're basically gonna finish this quest. I don't think it's long anyway, and well, we're gonna now save a relationship. Time to put on the doctor's glasses and start the couple therapy, I suppose. Perhaps we should confront Sir William about the matter first before we make a decision. Sir William of Thrall. He's of a noble establishing trade here in Natkatla. He was a good man, at least I was thought so until now. Oh, yeah, nothing's clear to me anymore. I know of him, and he's often at the Mithrest in Wookeen's Promenade. Let us go and see what sense we can make of this. Give him a chance to explain himself at the very least. Also, equipment-wise, sure, Caldron, do we have a shield perchance? You don't. But you do have the fucking whole Hellwood Redeemer Plus too, Jesus. That is a great fucking thing. That is a great fucking two-handed sword, and I think I will actually take that upon myself, because that is 5 magic damage every time I get damaged. And I'm frontliner, I get damaged all the time. Okay, now then, it's time to save the relationship. We shall do so with the most ardent fervor now that we have been convinced of her innocence in this matter. Which is actually cute, because that means I can actually read some lines I have pretty sure never read before, because I never make that choice. And I've played through Baldur's Gate 2 at least, I want to say 8 times, 9 times. That's nothing compared to Baldur's Gate 1. Baldur's Gate 1 I played at least 20 times. Completely fair. As I said, I never made this particular choice. Yeah, that is. I was about to say. I don't remember you being here. And now, whipping the glasses. Oh, like, yes, Keldon, listen, I know this looks bad, very bad, very bad. Don't understand you being confused about it, but don't worry, we'll solve the problem. Yes, yes. One way or another. Actually, now I think about it, how are you leveled? Just Inquisitor? Just Inquisitor. Which makes him a bloody good fighter. I'm actually considering him for the final party under normal circumstances, but I would like to keep our little fucktoy around. And I think the next time we play Baldur's Gate, that's gonna be the next quest, basically, we're going to do. Namely, I'm going to the order and go like, what about that test you said? Sir William of Thurb. Quick save in case we can fuck this up. But we're here to save the relationship, not murder the guy.
My time is quick, so be brief.
My dear girl, I don't know you from Dritz. Leave me be. Okay.
I am yours to...
My time is quick, so
Well, Lord Keldon, I was hoping you would come. May I presume then, do you know why I am here? I was a husband to your wife and a father to your children, if that is what you mean. I swear to God, at least... It takes a lot of restraint, because just after such a statement, I would fucking just outright murder him if I were Keldon. Or like, you what, you bitch? My Lady Maria has but one husband, and it is I, Sir Vesper and Leona. How dare you defile them with your presence? Yes. A very fair statement. They yearn for a father. Any father, even an imposter of the street in your stead. Be to them in your compassion what you are to them in blood, Keldon. So says the viper who will sleep in my bed, running his wretched fingers through the spun gold that is her hair. Do you wish, Sir William, to have a child that is not even yours? Unlikely. I have been a spent wig for many years. You sought some beauty in the midst of all her pain. I could say you would have done the same. What am I to do with you? You show no remorse, yet at the same time you are so devoid of malice. What am I to do at all? Lady Maria loves you deeply, and without expression love withers and dies. There was but a single drop of moisture. You the oasis for which she searches. Love her and I will be but wind-born dust. You're asking for my forgiveness. I'm not fool enough to ask for that, my lord, but rather think that someday you will thank me. I once believed that with age would come wisdom, but every day I seem to adopt it more, which it pains me to admit. Sir William is right. He's absolutely not right. It's time I spoke with my wife. Take your giant sword, ram it up his ass and go like, okay, bitch. Stop doing that. Let us make our way to your estate and bring some closure to this turmoil. I think you propose your understanding and your friendship, my lady. Come, let us be off to my estate so that I may meet with Maria and put this behind me. Yes, I know strategy. I'm not going to deliberately fuck this up. You paid, and I'm, as you know, pretty much a pretty good example of an at least somewhat honest businessman. So if I offer you a service and you're paying for it, you will get it. You'll get it. But I will grumble about it. Because come on. The guy knows what he has done. He has quite literally slept with his wife. And then when he comes up and goes like, okay, we should talk about this, he is provocative as fuck. Really provocative as fuck. If I were in his shoes, I had ran... After the first few lines, I had ran him through with my sword and went like, okay, you really asked for this. I would fucking do it. I wouldn't even question it. Much to make you stop moaning on the job. Depends on how precisely you want to do this. If you want me to stop complaining about this job, for every on this game, for every potential thing that you could pay me for doing that goes against my better judgment and not moan about it. Asking a good question, this strategy. I mean, everything has a price, as we all know. If I only stop moaning about whenever you override my decision, then for every decision you override, you'll probably have to just give me an extra $5 or $10 or something. With the specific instructions to stop fucking moaning about it. Basically, you pay for your decision, and then you pay for the extra services of, you know, shutting up about it and just enjoying it. Right? Can be arranged. Everything has its price, and that's the job I can do. I can shut up about it. Yes, I can. It's just that I don't really want to. Consider it to be an extra service on top of your, decision making. €4 per service. Okay. Mind you, that applies for every last service individually. That is not a giant overwriting things. That is per decision. Or when you make me do a change of mind, of heart in the middle of my decision making, then yes, pay 4 extra euros and you get the extra service of me shutting up about my displeasure of doing what you have forced me to do. That can be arranged. Can be arranged indeed. I shall allow that as well. As everybody knows, I'm a bit of a bitch these days. So, if I pay up 2,000 euro, you have to do the hardest game without moaning. Technically speaking, if you pay up to 2,000, I will indeed, and that is what I said. If you and everybody else who's interested gets up to 2,000 fucking bucks, and yes, let's say 2,004, because that is the extra service then for the whole decision. And since the whole decision is playing the game on the hardest difficulty, yes, I actually would end up in a situation where I would have to play on the hardest difficulty without moaning about the difficulty. Which is fucking amazing. I would literally sit here with a smile in my face going like, oh, this is so fun. Oh, this is so fun to get murdered every last single turn and reloading every 5 seconds. Yay! Oh god, that would be painful. But yeah, that is why the price is that fucking high, I would assume. But yes, technically speaking, strategy, you are right in that assumption. If you actually get that bar up to 2004 euros, I will actually play through Baldur's Gate on the bar difficulty, which is pain in the ass to do in any way you look at it, and would probably take us at least a year to finish. Because, oh boy. We're just talking about Baldur's Gate 2 here, mind you. If we extend this toward Baldur's Gate 1 as well, then holy fucking shit, I'm in for a fucking 2-year stint of just sitting here and shining ever so brightly. Like, yeah, this is fucking fun, isn't it? Ooh. You're right, actually. Why isn't it there? Oh yeah, I deactivated it because I set this up for another game that we were about to play. Let's see here. Tip goal, that is. I kind of have to set up in a way so that I can, you know, make it go away really quickly, because otherwise, for other games, that doesn't make any sense. Lower bar on your lower stream. I mean, I could kind of, the problem is basically what I would originally like to do with this whole tip bar is to basically have different ones, you know. But that is not allowed. What I can do is basically I can set up different bars for different things. I can set up a bar for donations, for subscriptions, and for bits. So basically I can set up like 3 different bars for that. But I can't just set up multiple donation bars. I haven't yet found a program that allows that as well, sadly enough. Because if I would find something like this, I would actually do it. So, you know, you have different goals that you can achieve. Right now, it's all combined. Yeah, I mean, I looked it up on the Streamlabs, and Streamlabs basically only allows me for one singular bar for one singular thing, which means I can set up a donation bar, and that is cute. I'm pretty sure I would need an external option for that, but I haven't found any that look promising, because it's kind of nice. So you basically end up with some combined bar, basically. Alternatively, we can split this up in value if we convert, for example, the value of a subscription into just money, and then set goals like that. Same with bits, actually, because bits can also be converted into just money, technically speaking, so we could do that. But it would always look somewhat wacky, to put it mildly. Oh well, back to complaining about doing things I don't like doing.
Squire Animan, a word, if you please.
I fucking knew this would happen. The very moment I...
How may I be of assistance?
Oh boy. But it's kind of difficult to set this up in a way I would like to do it. I'm Sir Ryan Troll, paladin of the most noble order of the Radiant Heart. In Tom's name, I greet thee. I greet you also. The time has come. Indeed it has. In the name of the prelate, the council requests your return to the High Hall. I'll return in Sandenheim's light, to be judged for my deeds and strength of arms. Problem is also, since I can only set up one singular goal at a time, I can't actually set this up for individual games, which is really irking me. Basically, once I have it set up and I have it running, that just runs. Now if I want to play another game and set up another bar, I can't. You always get this. Now what I can do is do it manually. So basically, I have this thing, you know, this thing going. Then I write down the amount we have. I write down what we had set up. Then I end it in Streamlabs, start a new one for another game. At which point we would need to determine what even we would set up as a goal in said games. And then go from there, basically. I don't know, for example, for Anno, what would you set up for an Anno game? I mean, for Star Wars, you can probably set up some things, you know, like making your life more difficult. Or making decisions that counteract what I would do, because we are playing as if we're gonna do Dark Side. But we could also, of course, do now, sometimes choose the Light Side option. Which seems strange, but you know, it's an option. It'll be, in Tom's name I bless thee, Anomen. And also thee. I shall see you at the High Hall, Anomen. Good luck. Thanks, Sir Troll. I look forward to our next meeting. You don't. You don't. Also technically speaking, depending on how much this bar goes up, technically speaking, the way it is set up now, I'm just 30 bucks away from playing on normal, eh? Ugh, that's gay. Well then, time to complain some more about having to deal with these cheating bitch, because I fucking hate my life.
Rest would be welcome, lest we endanger ourselves.
Lady Maria. Beep. Beep. It's so fucking tempting to just go over there, ram my sword into her fucking guts and go like, I'm done with this shit. But alas, we shall not. No, 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 no. The strategy has
What would you like?
shown us the way. Yes, he has, with his monies.
Very well.
Yes, it is done.
God fucking damn it, is it tempting, isn't it?
Dead.
It is so fucking
Duty call,
tempting.
so be it.
Oh well. Pretty sure the quest is not that long. I'm gonna save here in case I mess it up, but it's tempting to mess it up, isn't it? Okay, I need a few more drags off the pipe to be fair before I do this. I have a literal physical aversion to doing this. Because my mercy for cheaters is not. Ugh.
I'm not accustomed to these long days.
That wasn't very successful, was it now?
We stop. The day was not this long, even when I led soldiers in the order.
Okay, I feel ready. I feel not ready at all, actually.
You live. Am I to read from such a fact that Sir William now lies dead?
You should. But no, we did against better judgment. What we should do. Yes, yes.
Nay, my love, we both yet live, and perhaps each of us more fully than before.
Did not your honor dictate? Yes, it did dictate, and we kind of stopped that from happening. Very much to our own chagrin. I told of you is honor enough for any man, Maria. Thank you, Kildan, my love. So you will stay. Player. Yeah, we're in Twitch studio and after set up we can stream together once again for the first time in ages. That sounds nice. Do you want to do our Star Wars stream then? As a dual stream? Because if you need some time to set this up, I can just keep playing this for like another hour or so and then we switch over. Tell me what your plan is, little strategy. Also, now, why not just installing fucking Streamlabs? It's always the superior option, I find, or at least I find it. It's comfortable to deal with. Is its shortcomings some, but I think the shortcomings are pretty general for most programs. Yeah, tell me what your plan is. Boys, continue complaining about this particular bitch. I really want to strangle her. I never want to strangle the guy. Actually, technically speaking, after the quest is over, I'm under no obligation to let that fucking weasel live, am I? Ah. Actually, you know, I'm under no obligation to let him live. He's at that point just another random NPC, and while, as I said before, I do need some justification to kill people, I do have some, don't I? Ah. Well, that's tempting, isn't it? It turns this around into a rather fun little situation. I release you from my service. I mean, this is the only way we can bring this to a good end, isn't it? It's saddening to see him gone. He's Keldor. He's a great fighter, an inquisitor, per chance. Wait for forgiveness, not for your players' forgiveness. Indeed, you paid for me to fix up this relationship instead of going down the obvious path and saying now, having them all killed and imprisoned, respectively, by the courts. But after that, after I'm done it. I mean, you know, if the random NPCs dies on the side of the road, or, you know, if a sack of rice falls over in China, yeah, who cares? Who cares indeed? I shall consider my options there. Oh, it's the fight, and there's the fight. Technically speaking, what we can do is, we can give him a bit of off time, and then recruit him later. We can do this. I don't know if this is actually permanent, but, he is. But somebody who has done the whole cheaty dance once might do it again. Do I really want to have him around? Especially the arrogant way he treated Keldorn. That's what I'm gonna do with this now. I'm gonna give him some off time, or am I gonna actually release him from the servers? And what would that imply? I don't actually know, because as I said, I never went down this road, so I have no idea if this would actually completely put him out of the game. Until Throne of Baal, I suppose. I think he's back in Throne of Baal. Pretty sure he is. I guess if we actually want to do the couple rehabilitation, then I guess we do have to basically release him from our services. It's not like we don't have enough good fighters. We have myself and we have Finn. That's a good front line, I suppose. Clerics are pretty good tanks, because they can self-buff quite nicely. We don't actually need a third fighter. Technically speaking, it is. Oh, I guess I wouldn't dare to stand in the way of love, I suppose. I release you from my service indeed. You are free to go. Thank you. I know we're not to blame for this long absence. Espaliona, come. I hear that they are holding a service in the promenade. Yeah, the quest is done and dealt with. Why is that not done with? The officer followed you executed the executed number of continuous surgeon as you returned yourself to them. You told him that she would think on it, and he left. And then it's judgment. That is the next one we can do.
Rest would be welcome, lest we endanger ourselves. I'm waiting.
Bit of a shame, but I guess the old man did deserve to end up happily with his family. Although, if he will be happy or not, that's probably for the ages to decide, and not for me, I suppose. My judgment had been made clear.
Yeah, of course.
And that also frees up another spot. Funny strategy. This is the point where you have to tell me how you are time-wise. We are a jolly fucking 24 minutes over what I said I would do. So if you want to set up streaming on your end, you can do so. I have still a few things to do. The next in line would be to, you know, go with an omen towards the church. See how that works out. Yeah, I mean, if you want to start, I can just go over to the temple district, make a save game, and switch games, I suppose. If that is your prerogative.
Long days. Could we stop and rest?
Demand that we stop.
Everybody's tired as fuck.
This long, even when I led soldiers in the order.
So I leave that final call up to you, basically. Probably use the opportunity to take a quick toilet break anyway before we change games. Seems like a reasonable thing to do.
Whatever you desire.